Welcome to Soul Awakening with Sandra. I am on the Sacred Kingdom platform, and it's a wonderful platform to be on because it allows for individuals to seek conversations or information about their awakening or the process in their awakening or mental health issues or any other issues that are being stimulated from the subconscious of the mind and old stories that have been told and kind of like that you believe are set in stone. The thing is, source or God consciousness or Jesus consciousness or Buddha consciousness, whatever title you want to give it, the consciousness of God that is a presence and not an absence, created us all equal, but unique, right? We are uniquely different from one another, but that difference is what combines us, makes us whole. And on this platform, you get to be you, even if somebody else thinks a different way than you do. Now, some people may be looking at this platform and going, spirituality, what? Why don't they just hang it up? That's wishy-washy. That's mamby-pamby. That's just a hobby, right? Well, for me, my thought that I had became a belief, and it became my truth about my spirituality, my oneness with God. And on this platform, it's held in a sacred place that I can let it be known that I believe in the law of one, that I believe in the law of attraction, that I believe in self-love and the law of love, that I believe in the law of cause and effect, that I believe in karma, that I believe that the universe is conscious, that I believe that the consciousness of the universe is a part of the consciousness of God. But at the same time, I understand that a person will have a belief. They will say it out loud. It will become their saying and thought until it becomes their belief. And they think it so much as their belief that it becomes their truth. And I will honor their truth. I will not follow in their truth, but I will honor that they have a truth until that truth is shattered by something great enough to move them into a different thought, a different action, a different way of being that becomes their belief and becomes their truth. That's called growth. That's called expansion. See, we think as human beings that we know it all and that God rested on the seventh day and created everything good, and then God changed the rules. We think. But when you begin to become awake to your spirituality, the authentic you that's buried in all of what I call layers like an onion, of all the stories and the paradigms and the dogmas that have been told to us, that have been given to us or pushed on us, or that we created ourselves, the story always changes. That's the constant in the universe. The constant thing that God or the consciousness of God is the same in. It will always give you growth and expansion and inform you when it's time to move or change or become something or someone different. It will always give you an opportunity for a new path because each day is a new day. And just as each day is a new day, you're a new person. And you're deserving of space or spaces that allow you to learn and grow. Sacred Kingdom is one of those. And that's why I'm here. And we had been talking about the Eagle's Playground And yes, the ego has many playgrounds, and I could be talking about that literally forever. Why? Because each individual has different playgrounds. They're entitled different things. Each individual being. Think about that. We've got over 7.7 billion, almost close to 8 billion people in the world. Each of them individually different and unique, and have different stories that have been piled into them and layered and layered. And our mind knows where all those stories are because it filed it away in our super processor called our brain. And once upon a time, we thought, because scientists had told us, that our brain was the mind. And then later on down the line, scientists found out that our brain is a supercomputer processing everything that our mind is doing inside all these billions and billions of beautiful, magnificent cells of ours. Yes. And here we are, these beautiful beings that have this free will capability, and yet we choose to use just minuscule amounts of our mind to create with, when we should be with body, mind, and soul creating the whole kit and caboodle. We should have all the vibration just off the freaking charts in our creation of our story, our creation of our chapters in our lives, the good and the bad of it. But yet we're too busy judging it, too busy creating unsafe places for people to have a voice about who they are and who they're becoming. As they're coming out of old stories and old dogmas, as they're coming out of old traditional religion into having a relationship with the consciousness of God. Learning that God is just, it's not this anthropomorphic man in the sky. That it's really an intricate being that's connected to all. That said, I want to know myself. And you go, well, God should know itself already. It knows itself as the glory of God. The presence that is never an absence, through vibration, through light, through love, through joy. It knew all these things. It didn't need our permission. And I said that so that you could read my lips, because it did not need our permission to be. It had a magnificent thought of what it would be like to be us as we were manifesting more of us. And I said it that way because actually we are. We're manifesting more of us each and every day, that we are having a magnificent thought. We're thinking about it constantly. It becomes our belief, it becomes our truth, and then we shoot it off to the law of attraction, or just plain consciousness of the universe, living consciousness, and boom, it gives us back. It gives it back to us. Not just gives us back it, but gives it back to us. It circulates right on back to us. So no matter how big the thought or how small the thought is, or how minuscule somebody else thinks your thought is, or how insignificant somebody thinks your desire is, as long as you're believing it, as long as you're seeing it, as long as you're resonating in it, as long as you're feeling it, as long as the actions that you're taking on how great it would feel to make $1 million, $1 billion, or make $100,000, or make $50 a day, it doesn't matter. The universe is looking to you to manifest that for you. It does the bigger job. It puts everything in place. But we have the feeling. But what's happening is we're seeing those perceptions of what we want based on how other people perceive what we say we want. And if they say it's not good enough, then we put it on a back burner, right? And here I'll use myself as an example. That someone asked me, what do I want to do with my Marshall Account Solutions? That's a company that I have, that I'm building. What do I want to do with Soul Awakening with Sandra? A company that I'm building. Because I'm called to serve. And this person told me that the only way that I'm going to visibly be able to serve others is if I'm making money like she wants to tell me I should make money. Because the only way that I'm ever going to be noticed is if I have money. Well, that's her perception. It's not the perception of me and how I think things are going to fit, and how Source has given me the call to serve. She can't usurp that. You see what I mean? So first I had to deal with the fact that I have a button that got pushed because I got really pissed. And usually I don't. Usually I let it roll off my back like a water rolls off a duck's. But here, it's not a button that she pushed. It's a button that I had there that got pushed by what she said. And Source had me, they asked if I would watch a video. They shared a video, and they asked if they could do another meeting with me after I shared the video. And Source said to me, you asked what you were missing. So be open to it and listen, because you're going to find out what you're missing. And I heard it and I listened to it. And the one thing that Source had highlighted for me in that whole conversation is they were saying that they don't have time to waste. They don't want me asking questions. And this was in a seminar that they have that I was watching. So this was what they were telling people who were thinking about coming into their group to make money, and that they didn't have time for a lot of questions because they had other people that they were talking to. And time is money for them. And what Source, kind of revealed to me, highlighted, is all they wanted was a yes or no answer. They didn't want questions asked. They wanted to know if you were ready to make $100 million or more a year. And either the answer was yes or no. And Source said, there. And what came back to me was, when I was growing up, I always heard children should be seen but not heard. Do as I say, not as I do. At some point, one of those people did ask questions, but they were saying, do as I say, not as I do. They were saying, in that same way, we don't want to hear you. We just want you to give us the answer, yes or no. And if the answer is no, then you must not want to be a millionaire or a billionaire. And they were leaving it as, that's the perception that I needed to see in myself. And I had to go back into my subconscious and bring that little girl forward that was standing there holding this recording of being a little girl and being told children are not seen, are seen but not heard. You don't get to have a say. And bring her forward and say, hey, that's changed. because I get to say yes or no, and I'm saying no to somebody saying, I think you're a great fit for my group. I get to say, no, I'm not a good fit for your group. Thank you for asking. So come on, little girl, let's go do that. Right? And free her from that old paradigm, that old story, that old dogma that was there. Right? And so just moving back to having a safe place to do that. The young man that created the space wanted people to have a safe space to do that. Wanted people to have a safe space for sharing their information on eating healthy or spiritual using your spirituality in your workplace or your home place, or many other things that if you look at this site, people are on sharing who they found out they were authentically. And I'm going to tell you, it's not easy work, but it's work that you are worth. Yes or no? But I knew I was worthy of the work that I needed to surrender myself to. Right? And I knew that I was worthy of releasing all the old dogmas as they come up. I don't go looking for them. They just get revealed. If a button's pushed, it's not because somebody else has pushed the button for me. It's because whatever the topic of conversation was, the button revealed itself. And then, yes, I have to go, I have to sift and sort, or make my ego has already sifted and sorted through it and brought it forward. I don't even have to sift and sort through it. I just have to go, okay, we're dealing with this now. Whether it's through meditation or whether it's me knowing what that story was about and how I want to change it in my life. Everybody is entitled to that. Everyone. Whether you're a Baptist or a Methodist or Catholic or, Seventh-day Adventist or Jehovah's Witness. And those are the mainstream ones, right? And all the other ones that are there, it doesn't matter what you belong to the human race, right? You're a spiritual being having a human incarnation. You belong to that, and you deserve to have a safe place to find yourself within all those layers of all those stories of everybody that told you who you were, or that you allowed them to tell you who you were because you didn't know any other way to be you. So if you're coming out of, having to release these dogmas and you don't know how, there's a lot of processes and there's a lot of people that source is moving through, and you get to decide which one is a comfortable movement for you. Because there's always a teacher that's glorious for you, that'll help you shape you. We aren't shaping you, we're just giving you the information. So I thought I'd step away from the actual titles of old dogmas, but there's so many that I'm going to embark back on it. But I thought I'd just take this moment on this platform that I'm on, and I'm new to it, but my soul and source has called me to be on this platform, to not judge anyone. It's the hardest thing to do, is go from waking up consciously and never being able to go back to being unconscious, because you can see so much clearer. But it doesn't happen instantaneously. For some people it might, Some people have such a great life, such a joyous life. They've lived that way all their life, you know, as having freedom and knowing how to move within and without of boundaries all around them, so that they don't judge other people. They just grew up not judging other people. They grew up not seeing color or religion or politics be a barrier for them loving people. And that's good. But then there are other people that are coming into themselves, finding out who they are deep under all those layers. And we have to, for me, I know I have to serve without judgment. You believe what you believe until something shatters or your belief of that, and you move from it and go, no, this doesn't work for me anymore. It's not for my greater good. I can feel it, you know. And then you delete the software and you upload new software, just like a computer, that's for your greatest good. So thank you for listening to Soul Awakening with Sandra on Sacred Kingdom. And I hope that you enjoy this space as much as I am. And blessings, peace, and love be with you and upon you, and move through, in, and as you every day. Thank you.